Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Zenista Tarot. It's Felicity here, and in this tarot reading I'm going to look at how things unfold for you for the next few months, say before the month of September or October, alright? And here in front of you there are 3 perfume bottles, because perfume has different layers, and hopefully this tarot reading will bring out a lot of different layers, and hopefully there are spiritual messages as well. And so choose one bottle, okay? Look at the shape of the bottle and see which one you like. Bottle number 1. Okay, bottle number 1. And bottle number 2. Okay, bottle number 2. And bottle number 3. Okay, now take a moment to look at it and then choose one bottle that catches your eye. Okay, now let's begin. Okay, for those of you who have chosen bottle number 1, it's this one, bottle number 1. Okay, let's start. And we are looking at the spiritual message, how events unfold for the YouTube viewers who have chosen the perfume bottle number 1. How events unfold for them before the month of September. How things unfold for those viewers who have chosen bottle number 1. Okay, let's see. Okay. Then take one card. Let's see. Okay, the theme for you to work on for the next few months, I see that some of you are clinging on to emotions. You hold on tight to your emotions. Let me see. Focus on this card. Let me. Okay, yes, focus. Okay, this card, I feel like some of you are experimenting, searching, trying to understand your own emotions. Some of you are trying to understand your emotions. I feel like maybe some of you are working with someone who are very clingy and holding on to the emotions and not letting go. Alright? It can be some kind of manipulating energy as well. It feels like some of you are trying to get rid of something or someone emotionally or energetically, but even though you work very hard on letting go, this person may not want to let go, or it is a very difficult task for you to let go emotionally and energetically. Okay? There may be some kind of past disappointment that you are holding on to. maybe it is time for you to go outside to also discover your own emotions by having a healthy interaction with others. Because right now it feels like things are not very healthy. It's not healthy because there's some kind of controlling of emotions, getting rid. Sometimes when you are so eager to get rid of something emotionally, when you are eager to get rid of someone emotionally, it can also reflect something back to you. That means you are not over this person. Okay, you are still angry with this situation, angry with this person. Because when you have healed from the wounds, you will be in a very peaceful, calm environment, and you do not you do not need to avoid this person. There's no need to avoid this person when you have healed, when you have forgiven what others have done to you. All right. So ask yourself this question: have you healed? Have you really let go of the past disappointment, the past situation? Because it feels like the more the more eager you try to avoid this person or this situation, um, the the more eager you want to get rid of something, the more you you are not healed. Okay, because this kind of mentality reflects back to you that you haven't healed. That's why you do not want to face this situation, you do not want to face this person, and that's why you just want to avoid the pressing of the button. All right, like you want to avoid being triggered. So this is a very good indication that you haven't healed. So turn within and try to uh, understand your lesson, forgive, and move on. Moving on doesn't mean avoid seeing this person. Moving on means that even though you face this person, you are dealing with them at a much calmer space, at a much calmer manner. All right. And let's see. Some kind of, you are trying to finding out something, maybe explore something. All right. uh it can also feels like you may be an apprentice, and someone is someone is looking at you, whether to see whether you are fit for this position. All right. And some of you are already in this position, this management position, and then you are trying to explore something new. Maybe you would like to invite someone new to your company, to your business, and you will ask them to perform some task. This task is the task for you to look at their whether their emotion is balanced or not. It feels like you are looking at someone who, or you are trying to find someone who is a very uh, new innovator, um, someone who is emotionally balanced. So I feel that even though at the beginning you are clinging on to something, you're holding on to your emotions, or someone is holding on to you, in the end, after a few months, and you will go to a much calmer place. Okay. I feel like for the next few months, some of you will work through a lot of things, and then will go to a much calmer place. Yes. You will be successful. Okay. And these few months ask you to explore your emotions, even though you have healed or in the process of healing. Some of you will pick up on something new, maybe to learn something new. Something comes to you and then you learn something new about your emotions. You will be viewed as someone who is successful. Okay. The card also asks you not to be afraid to explore something new. Maybe you want to learn something new. Just explore. Alright? Because this card talks about sitting there. This card is just, someone who has achieved something and then just sit there and not trying to learn something new, or maybe just by looking at things. Okay, just looking at things. So the card asks you, even though you are in a management position, even though you have achieved something, it is still okay, it is still fine to find something new to do, maybe to explore something, to learn something, and then by doing that, you will be in a place of balanced emotions. You reach to a place where everything is very balanced. I feel like some of you, even though you are in a certain position, but then some of you are not very happy. But then some of you, after exploring something, and then you are not very happy with where you are. It's just like some of you are feeling like you are nobody. Yeah, maybe you join a company, you just join a new company, and then you feel like you are new, and then you are still an apprentice, and you also have a lot of tasks to handle, and then you are surrounded by a lot of successful people. I feel like you are surrounded by a lot of people who are in the management sector, and you view them as successful people, and then somehow you feel like you are a small potato. The card also asks you not to doubt yourself, not to doubt yourself. Some of you are doubting yourself, and some of you are wondering if you will be in this position one day. All right. Yes, at the beginning, maybe you have some kind of work to do with this group of people, and then clinging onto something, but then later on, you will be in a more balanced position with the people around you. and the advice card. Some kind of things, okay, avoiding, just like this card and this card. I can see from this card that it's about avoiding something, not looking at something. This card also, at the beginning, I also talk about, some of you are avoiding something. And again, this card again asks you not to avoid. Maybe there's a piece of information that you are avoiding. Maybe there is some kind of conversation, some kind of confrontation that you are avoiding. Maybe someone tries to talk to you, or some information is coming to you, but you are avoiding it. You do not want to face it. Okay. What are you running away from? I feel like you just try to avoid it. Maybe there are people that you work with. There are people that you work with, but then you feel like you cannot communicate with them clearly, and so you avoid talking about that. You avoid talking to them, trying to maintain a well-balanced workplace. Okay. The card asks you not to avoid the conversation that you should have. Maybe you work with certain people and there are things that you would like to say to them. Maybe they are in a higher position than you. You are new in this company and you feel like you cannot defend yourself, or you feel like you do not have a say in this circle. Okay. The card encouraged you to take action, to really speak to them about your concerns. Maybe there are things that are not clear, and then you need to ask them, okay, how to do it, what kind of things that you can help, what kind of things that you can do. See that you just feel like you lack authority to do something. You feel like you lack authority to voice out something, and so instead of talking to the people surround you, you just sit there and protect yourself. Maybe you worry that once you bring things up, you need to defend yourself or other people will defend themselves. But I see that maybe it's not what you think. Alright? So not being silent is not the way to create a well-balanced environment. Alright? So try to bring it up. If there are people in your life that you want to cut off, maybe it's better you send them a message and then you cut them off. It's better that you say things before you cut off someone, especially when there are no arguments. Alright? So it's time to face it. Okay? So let's move on to group number 2. Let's move on to group number 2. Okay, for those who have chosen bottle number 2, is this bottle. Okay, this bottle. So now let's look at group number 2. Let's see what kind of spiritual message that YouTube viewers who have chosen group number 2. Let's see how things unfold for them for the next few months until September. September until September, how the events, how things unfold, and the advice. Okay, let's see. Okay. See. Something, things there is something that is hidden, and you try to relate to the past and then make sense of your future. Okay, so maybe you try to look at, okay, this is the things that happened to you in the past, and then you are trying to predict, okay, this will happen in the future. You pay a lot of attention to the repeated history, but it feels like sometimes this kind of repetition, the history repeat itself is because part of it is created by you. Okay. And you don't know what will happen in the future. Others do not know what will happen in the future. It remains a guessing game. It remains a guessing game. Okay? You do not know what will happen in the future, and yet you feel like, okay, by looking at things from your past, and then you already assume that this is gonna happen, and the history repeat itself. But the thing is that no one knows what will happen. You don't know what will happen, others will not know what will happen, and you are pointing at a direction that leads to unknown. Okay? It's better not to blame anyone. It's not your fault, it's not other people's fault. It's just like sometimes things are not how you have predicted. Okay, this is like you feel like by looking at the past you will know the future, but then sometimes it's not like that. Because maybe sometimes you are so used to creating this kind of pattern, this kind of life in your life, and then you almost got used to it. You create certain situation in your life, and then you feel that, okay, life happens to you and these kind of things happen to you all the time. But then please look at your own pattern. Part of the events from your past were created by you. Part of the events that happened in your life in the past was created by you. And if you do not want your future to fill with certain kind of energy, it's better to not assume yourself as a failure. And also do not assume others as failures. Okay? Sometimes you really need to look at, okay, the moment, and not look at the past, just assume things are going to repeat itself again. Okay, it might or might not, but of course if you do the things again and again and you do not change, sometimes things of course will happen the same way. Okay, so look at what you need to change. I feel like a lot of things are hidden by you, sometimes out of the unknown, things that kept unknown. It's done by you. Okay, because you keep things hidden, and then other people do not know what to do. They don't know what to do about you. Okay, they don't know what to do with you. It's time to think positive, and also it's time to let others know. Also to let others know about your past. Okay, if they don't know about your past, sometimes they do not know why you have this kind of behavior. I'm not telling you to justify your behavior, especially those behavioral patterns are not good. Okay, I'm not telling you to justify them because of what happened in the past, but then it's time to tell others about the unknown part of your life. Let's see. Yes, the avoidance of the communication again. It's a burning question. There's a burning question. Okay, I see that some of you are trying to deliver some kind of information, but then when other people trying to communicate with you, maybe it's a very urgent matter. Okay, the urgent matter makes you just do not know what to do. Okay, I see that maybe someone is trying to abandon a project. This is a new project. This is a new project that has already come to fruition, but somehow they abandon it. And when you look at this project, maybe this piece of new information, and you look at other people's offer, maybe other people's offer, other people's project, and they destroy their own project in front of you, and you just avoid them. You are not giving them any advice. You are not trying to see. You're not trying to help them, and someone, this person is just like, okay, it feels like trying to compare, to compete, who is the toughest one. Like, you know what, you just pretend to be tough. You just pretend to be tough, and actually you also feel pity that this person abandoned a new project, this person abandoned a new idea and destroy something that you want in front of you. Even though you are you try to remain calm and collected and not talk about your sorrow at the back of your mind, when you are alone, and you are praying to God, you are praying to the angels, you are praying to the higher intelligence that for God's sake, let's not abandon the new project. Okay? This is the situation that you will work on in the next few months. Like, both you and the other person are not achieving anything, because the situation is like this person is like, okay, let's see, I'm going to destroy something that you want. there's a struggle here. The struggle is like, okay, both of you would like to come up something that destroy the precious things from each other's life. Okay, this person knows that you value something, and then this person tries to destroy the things that you value. It's something new. It's something that has already completed. And then you are trying to remain collected even though this person destroys something in front of you. This is something that you want. This is the offer that you want. Or maybe this is the project, the partnership that you want. But because of the argument, because the conflicts, and okay, this person destroys something that is precious to you, and then you remain collected, you remain very calm and collected, and you feel like, okay, no communication, okay, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to face it, even though you destroy something, I just remain calm and collected and turn my head away, and trying to gain control, trying to be tough. But then behind you, okay, behind the back of your head, behind the back of your mind, and you are praying and praying, and for God's sake, okay, just like let things go smoothly. You want to work on some kind of solution. You want to work on some kind of conflicts. You want to build up a successful partnership. But then, because both of you are trying to get the upper hand of each other, and it's not going to work like this. Both of you are very tough. Okay, let's see. So do you know what kind of pattern that you need to work on? It's about not always playing tough. Because when you act like you don't care, and actually you care here at the back of your mind, you actually care, and then you act like you don't care, and it's going nowhere. But it's also the same for this person. This person's like, okay, this is the newborn, something new, something valuable. I will destroy it in front of your face. It's like both of you work on the same theme. Do you see that? Both of you works on the same theme. The same theme. Power struggle here. Okay, the advice card. I see that in the end, you will talk again. Maybe bringing a little bit of some kind of instrument, because after this kind of destructive behavior, after some kind of destruction, and you see that things are not good for both of you, okay, both parties lose. I see that. And so both of you will learn something in the next few months, and then in the end you will talk about it. And you realize that, okay, you create nothing for you, you create nothing for yourself by being the tough one. And so I see that you are trying to be light in the end, maybe near the end of September, maybe at the beginning of September, October. You try to relax a little bit, okay? I see that the atmosphere, things will be in a more calmer and relaxing way, because right now it's like everything is tense up. You will talk about it in a calmer manner later on. The card asks you to be calm and really talk, resume the conversation. But nothing will be achieved without hard work. Because if you pretend to play instrument, you pretend to work hard, and you create some kind of illusion that you are working hard, it's not going to work. So the card asks you to really say what you mean and mean what you say, and not just pretend, because it feels like promise make not valid. It's like there's no valid in it. And so when the conversation resume later on, the card asks you to really work on the promise that both of you have made. Otherwise, nothing grows really. Okay, so this is the reading for you. Okay, now let's look at bottle number 3. This is for the viewers who have chosen this bottle, okay, bottle number 3. Let's see the spiritual advice, how things unfold, for those who have chosen bottle number 3. See how things unfold. This some of you are feeling emotionally exhausted, okay, because maybe there are a lot of tasks at hand, a lot of burdens. It's an emotional burden, okay. Are you trying to hold on something in order to defend yourself? It's like you are not letting go because you are afraid of being exposed. You are afraid of showing your weaknesses. You are afraid of being naked emotionally. Like when you connect with people, when you interact with people, because of the past hurt or because of a lot of emotional burdens that you hold on to, there's a sense of insecurity as well. So when you interact with others, you always try to hide yourself, using a lot of different strategy to hide yourself. Maybe the things that you create in a conversation, it's trying to confuse others so that others will not see the real you. Alright, so see what kind of emotional burdens that you are holding on to. See that because of the insecurity, because of you not wanting to show the real true self, and you have a lot of things that you defend, you hold on to. The card asks you not to be so defensive when interacting with others, and also pay attention to your emotions. It feels like emotionally exhaustion. You are at the place of emotional exhaustion. Alright? Trying to see what are the things that you hold on to. People, when they interact with you, they do not see the real you. They view you as someone who are a bit insecure, who have a lot of tasks at hand, and people view you as someone who are a little bit defensive, in a defensive side. But all in all, they see you as someone who have emotions. Like they know that you are not doing it intentionally. There must be some reasons behind, but because of your own defensiveness, they cannot reach out to you. Like they want to reach out to you, but they cannot, because there's some kind of defensive manner, the things that you create to confuse others. But emotionally, they feel like you are friendly. On the emotional level, they feel like you are a friendly person. It's just like you are not showing the true self. Okay. See. Okay. This is like a place of isolation. Okay, I see that maybe in your workplace, maybe in your social circle, always you place yourself in a very isolated place. Maybe you push yourself to a corner. It's because of the mind. There, you know, you have some talents. There are a lot of things that you want to do, and it's just that your mind stops you from doing things that you like. Maybe you have some kind of musical talents. It's just that there are a lot of noises in front of you trying to tell you not to do it. So you introvert, I feel like you are an introvert, and the mind keeps you away from achieving your happiness. Okay. If there are a lot of things, like you are also worried about gossips as well. That's why you are very protective of your emotions, protective of yourself, your true self, because you do not want others to gossip about you. You do not like gossip yourself, and then you don't want others to gossip about you. But then you need to understand that sometimes people gossip because they lack entertainment. They view gossips as a kind of entertainment for themselves, a kind of socializing environment for themselves. And so, to avoid gossip, you place yourself in a very isolated place whenever you are in a group, because you cannot stand hearing those kind of gossips and things. And you also do not like to party a lot, like maybe in a social environment, in a social situation, you just avoid that. It's the mind just keeps you away from enjoying yourself. Okay, always you think like if you are not in a certain situation, if you are not like this or that, like if you're not in a certain country, if you're not in a certain place, then your life will be better. This is in your mind. There's a suppression of expression, the suppression of the expression, maybe artistic expression, maybe you do not speak your mind. Okay, you have a lot to talk about, you have a lot of topics that you would like to talk, but you stop yourself from creating something for yourself because you're afraid of not being accepted in a certain circle. Okay, liberation. Your mind needs to be free. If others do not accept your ideas, that's okay. At least you have a way to voice out. If you do not voice out your ideas, people will never know you. It's okay. No one can avoid gossips, alright? You need to understand. And you cannot stop others from talking about you. Just take some advice from the you know the late writer Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde once said, "I'm afraid of not being talked about." Okay, you need to have this mindset like, I'm afraid of not being talked about. Okay, so free yourself this way. Okay, when people talk about you, whether it's good or bad, at least you are being talked about. But it doesn't mean that you need to prove yourself. It doesn't mean you need to prove your own existence. Okay, this sentence is trying to encourage you to free your mind. Your mind is keeping you away from happiness. It's time to find some kind of entertainment. If you would like to make music or if you would like to join some group, just join some group and not to place yourself in a very isolated place or situation. It's not, sometimes it's not about where you are. It's about how you fit into a certain situation. This is the lesson that you need to learn. It's not about a certain culture, certain place that fits you. Sometimes if you take action and then actually you can find it easy to fit in. Okay, it's just your mind that stop you from fitting in. Or it doesn't mean that, okay, I'm too important to fit in, and I feel like there's some kind of stubbornness going on. Stubbornness. Okay, you place yourself in this situation like, I'm like this, I have this fire, I have this passion, I say this in this, and then there's no compromise. Yes, again, the mind. This card asks you to let go of your mind, maybe let go of the ego. When you communicate in a group, and especially when you communicate, it's not just like, okay, this is the right thing to do, this is the right thing, and the card also asks you to accept different opinions as well. It can be a lot of parts that holds that store in your mind and then stop you from enjoying yourself. Okay, yes. You see this card? You see what this person is doing? Just let go of the mind chatter and then go outside to enjoy life. But still in an isolated place. The card asks you to go outside to make friends. Okay. Just if you have some kind of idea that you would like to present to others, maybe you find a comfortable place to practice the things that you would like to express, and then you go outside. You will feel sorry later on if you don't express something. Okay. The card also asks you to take step-by-step approach. Like you may have four ideas. You may have 4 ideas that you would like to express, and the card asks you to pick one idea to express first. To pick one idea, to pick the most important things first, to express one thing first, and later on, when the time is right, express the rest of the 3 ideas. Okay, if there are a lot of ideas that inside your mind, pick one to express. If you worry about how others react, just practice beforehand, practice how you communicate, practice your nervousness. Okay, once you practice, and then you can practice in front of a friend first, maybe in a small group of friends first before you go to a larger audience. Maybe you have contradicting ideas. Maybe you yourself have contradicting ideas. Okay, so maybe it's time to find out which idea is the one that you stick to, which idea that you feel more resonated to, and express it. And also try to relax. I feel that you are not being relaxed. You are very uptight. It's time to have a little bit of fun, like just relax. Life does not always need to be so serious. Life does not need to be always so serious, alright? So, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.